Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a Doomkaiser Assault Mode deck profile. So I'm really excited for this one because with the 15,000 subscriber special that we've been having, I really wanted to do something special and something really different for you guys. That was one of those decks like, whoa, you don't see that every day. So this is one of those decks that you just don't see every day because it's just so unique and so neat. Because not everybody knows about this deck because it's really interesting. With the new Assault Mode support, I really wanted to look at this deck and really make it interesting. So let's get straight on this. Before we do, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell there so you can come part of our notification squad, and let's get straight on this. But before we do, I really quickly want to mention you guys, we do have a Ko-Fi and a Patreon down in the description. If you guys would like to donate to the channel, definitely check out those links. I really appreciate it if you guys do. So let's get straight on into this, guys. So first off, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Doomkaiser Dragon Assault Mode. Really cool card, really neat effect. So really love the artwork of this card. So its effect is that it cannot be normal summoned or set. A lot of you guys are probably like, what is that card? But it basically, when the Assault Mode cards came out, they released Doomkaiser Assault Mode, Colossal Fighter, I think Red Dragon Archfiend, Stardust Dragon, and then they just did a Hypersonic Blaster or something like that. Hyper Psychic Blaster, and the TG Halberd, whatever it was. That was the new one with a new wave of Assault Mode support. But the really cool thing about this card is that you can only be special summon with Assault Mode activate. And when this card is special summon any number of zombie monsters from either player's graveyard to your side of the field, and then those monsters' effects are negated, and also they're destroyed during end phase. This turn, when this card on the field is destroyed, you can special summon a Doomkaiser Dragon from your graveyard. Really cool card, really neat effect, just helps swarm, and is an OTK maker from way back. Then we play 2 copies of Doom King Ballardrot. Doom King Ballardrot's really nice in here because it helps us out with going into our copies of, like, you know, just is kind of like our backup plan, if you will, because you want to play this Zombie World engine in here so you can kind of have that backup plan that if you can't get into Doom, or you can't get into Doomkaiser, you have Doom King, all the Doom around, Doomy Doom Doom. But basically what this does is if you have a field spell on your side of the field, which is Zombie World, if you have that on your side of the field, then you can activate the effect of special summoning this card during each standby phase. You can just special summon this card, and then anytime a zombie effect is activated once per chain, and once per turn, you can either negate the effect or banish a monster from either player's field or graveyard, which is really cool. I really love that effect. Then we play something that you guys are going to go, wait a minute. But we play 3 copies of Gozuki. Okay, now, you guys are going to look at me crazy, and you're going to go, why are you playing 3 Gozuki? You only ever play 1, maybe 2 tops. But you have to get Plague Spreader to graveyard. You have to get Plague Spreader to graveyard as quickly as possible. And this helps us set up with like a first turn, maybe second turn, Doomkaiser, because you normal summon this, you send the copy of Plague Spreader to the graveyard, you use Plague Spreader effect, special summon it back onto the field by putting a card back on the top of your deck, go into Gozuki with Plague Spreader equals Doomkaiser, because Doomkaiser has to be special summoned with a copy of Plague Spreader Zombie. So that's something that you have to keep in mind about this deck. Then we play 2 copies of Mizuki just to banish to special summon a zombie from the graveyard. 2 copies of Necro Netherworld Banshee. Necro Netherworld Banshee basically lets us get our zombie world out of our deck a little bit easier. 3 copies of Shiranui Solitaire to special summon out our copy of Unizombie, which we play 2 copies of Unizombie. Unizombie is such a good card in this deck because it lets us send a zombie from our deck to the graveyard, which is really cool, and from our hand to the graveyard, which is even nicer to be able to send from the hand to the graveyard to help us get stuff out of our hand to go for more plays. 2 copies of Plague Spreader Zombie. Plague Spreader is the big MVP of this deck. You're going to want to send Plague Spreader to the graveyard to be able to special summon out your copy of Doomkaiser, so you can go into Doomkaiser Assault Mode, which is really neat to be able to go into Doomkaiser Assault Mode. 2 copies of Glow Bloom. Glow Bloom, if it's sent to the graveyard, you get to special summon a zombie monster from your deck that has a level 5 or higher if you control Zombie World. If you don't control Zombie World, you just add it to your hand instead, which is pretty neat as well. 1 copy of Zombie Master. Zombie Master comes in handy in this deck because you can normal summon Zombie Master, send any of your zombies that are going to benefit off of being in the graveyard to the graveyard, special summon any zombie from the graveyard, and then special summon Plague Spreader if it's in the graveyard off of its own effect. Synchro the Zombie Master and the Plague Spreader together, go for Doomkaiser, and then go from there. I mean, you've got Doomkaiser again. 1 copy of Shiranui Spectral Sword. Shiranui Spectral Sword is in here for one reason and one reason only. We go for our copy of Archfiend Zombie Skull with the copy of Shiranui Spectral Sword. Or you go for Samurai Saga. Samurai Saga really helps out because it gets rid of or brings back your banished zombie monsters, which is really nice. And then for the last monster of the main deck, we're going to be playing a single copy of Assault Beast, because you can discard Assault Beast to add an Assault Mode activate from your deck to your hand. It just helps us get to Assault Mode activate to be able to go into Doomkaiser Assault Mode, which is nice. So that's it for the main deck for the monsters. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave basically lets us negate hand traps, which is the big thing that you don't want to have to deal with in this deck because you're trying to OTK your opponent as quickly as possible. 3 copies of Super Polymerization. Super Polymerization just basically is here, and this says, hey, I don't want to deal with your monsters, so I'm going to fuse them away to go into Dragon Necro Nether Soul Dragon, Starting Venom Fusion Dragon, Mud Dragon of the Swamps. Like, it goes into some sort of dragon, and we're going to make some sort of dragon off of our Super Poly in here. We play 2 copies of Assault Mode 0. Now, the reason we play Assault Mode 0 is because you can either, if you have it in your hand and you tribute a Synchro monster to special summon an Assault Mode monster from your hand, so you tribute one on your field. If you're stuck with an Assault Mode monster in your hand, like if you're stuck with Doomkaiser Assault Mode in the hand, you can activate Assault Mode 0, special summon it from your hand to get it out of your hand, or if it's in your graveyard, which is the main reason we play it, you can banish it to set an Assault Mode activate directly from your hand or deck, and it can be activated this turn, which we also play 3 copies of Foolish Burial Goods, because you're trying to get your Assault Mode 0 to the graveyard as quickly as possible to be able to activate it off of your copy of Assault Mode activate. And then we play 3 copies of Zombie World. Zombie World is so good in this deck because it turns everything in the graveyard to a zombie, which is going to benefit all of your Doomkaiser Assault modes, because you're just going to be able to pick the cream of the crop that's in the graveyard and put it back on the field. Because the longer the duel draws out with this deck, the better it's going to be when you summon Doomkaiser Assault mode, because you're going to have more cards in the graveyard to be able to special summon, to be able to link with, synchro with, go into all sorts of different plays with. So Zombie World is very pivotal in this deck. So that's it for the spells. Let's get into the traps. Which you guys should know, the only trap that I'm playing in this deck is 3 copies of Assault Mode Activate. Assault Mode Activate is basically here because I'll let you tribute a Synchro monster to special summon a Assault Mode monster from your deck that specifically lists the Synchro monster, which is cool. So you basically tribute Doomkaiser Dragon on your side of the field to special summon out Doomkaiser Assault Mode directly from your deck to be able to go into those sorts of plays. And yes, I do have the ulti. I'm really excited that I have the ultis for both of these. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So the extra deck's a little bit neat. We're going to be playing 2 copies of Doomkaiser. Doomkaiser is a really neat card because when it's synchro summoned, or when it's special summoned, you can select a zombie type monster in your opponent's graveyard and special summon it to your side of the field in attack position, but destroy it when this card is removed from the field. Not that big of a deal because you're usually going to link away with that card before you activate the Assault Mode Activate to go into something else, like a copy of Vampire Sucker or Avenged Slayer, or already have one of them on the field to go into something like that. We play a single copy of Revived King Hades. Revived King Hades I don't make that often, but it's one of the old school zombies, and I was like, why not? Negate the effects of an effect monster destroyed by battle with zombie type monsters you control, which is cool. I really like that effect because it just instantly negates any monster effect that it gets destroyed or destroys by battle. 2450, not that great, but it's cool. Archfiend Zombie Skull is something I make quite often here with Spectral Sword, because you just banish the Spectral Sword and then it special summons a Synchro monster, which is this, from your extra deck for basically for free, and it ignores its summoning conditions pretty much. So you can special summon this without using Plague Spreader. And then face-up zombie monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. So it protects all of your stuff from like Doomkaiser's effect from destroying it, and your copy of Doomkaiser Assault Mode from destroying it, which is kind of neat, but it also protects from your opponent destroying it. Beals, because it's easy to make Beals in this deck. It's easy to make Beals in every single zombie deck, so that's, I mean, you might as well. Cyframe Lord Omega, because it's played in every single zombie deck. 1 copy of Red Eyes Red Eyes Zombie Necro Dragon, which is really a good card because you basically just use this to be able to make a really big beat stick that gains 100 attack for each zombie monster in either player's graveyard, and then when another monster, or when this card destroys, or when a zombie monster is Destroy Battle. You can special summon a zombie monster from either player's graveyard to your side of the field, which is pretty cool. And then I play a single copy of Shiranui Samurai Saga. Samurai Saga is something I make every so often in here. It's a good card that once per turn during either player's turn, you can target one of your banished zombie-type monsters and shuffle it in the deck. And if you change all monster your opponent controls to defense position with attack less than or equal to that monster's attack, and if this card is banished, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls and lose 500 attack. Not that big of a deal, but the good effect about this is that you can target one of your banished zombies and put it back in the deck. For our Super Poly targets, we're playing Dragon Necro Nether Soul, which is a really good card in here. Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, because you can make it extremely easily OTK your opponent. Mud Dragon, kind of the same reason, because you just want to have it as a super poly target, because if you don't have two dark monsters, you have Starving Venom for the two darks, and you have this for everything else. It's kind of like a catch-all. And then when you have Zombie World in the field, you always go for this. Number 60 is really good as an extender. It just makes a monster. Like if you have Doomkaiser Assault Mode, and then you overlay for this, you can make the Doomkaiser Assault Mode go all the way up to 56, which is really big to be able to attack one good time and OTK your opponent, or make something like a Dragon Necro Nether Soul go up to, even go all the way up to 6,000, or make Beals go up to 6,000 or something like that. Like you can make something really big with this card, and it's really good to be able to do that. Or you can skip your next draw phase to draw 2 and discard 1, which can help you really out with because you're trying to get your zombies in the graveyard. One copy of Boral Sword just to OTK. One copy of Avenged Savior. Avenged Savior is really good because of its effect to be able to send zombies to the graveyard when it's, when it battles. And then also a single copy of Vampire Sucker because it does work really well with Zombie World. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed this extremely unique Doomkaiser Assault Mode deck profile. It's kind of like, I hope that I'm going to try and upload this one as my last one for the 15,000, and I know I could say it 15,000 times to you guys. I really appreciate every single one of you who's taken the time to subscribe and believed in this channel, because it means a lot. It's actually like turned into my dream job where I'm going to be working doing YouTube more and more in the future, and I really love what I do, and I really have to say thank you everybody for helping me get to this point. I never thought I would get to this point, and thank you so much, because all these deck profiles I do for you guys. So thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and definitely hit that bell down there. See you in the next one, guys.